As we're nearing the end of this year, I'd like to say this year has been quite good in terms of movies. One of those movies I'm highlighting is Baby Driver.
Being the surprise hit of 2017, it's won over audiences with its great cast of characters, actors, editing, soundtrack, cinematography, and direction. Today I'm here to do an in-depth analysis on this Edgar Wright picture. If you're here, let's be honest, you've heard about this movie or seen it. Nevertheless, here's a spoiler warning. The story of Baby Driver revolves around our main character, Baby, who is a talented getaway driver, and is tasked by Doc, a kingpin, to do heists for him or else. The premise is good. Edgar Wright, who is the mastermind behind Baby Driver, takes this movie in unexpected turns. Not once did I find this movie boring or predictable. Not one frame is wasted. Not one moment is pointless. It's all tightly written, with Edgar Wright giving even the smallest attentions to detail, and not one stone is unturned. Taking a basic premise and turning it into something special is the sign of a great writer. As mentioned before, small details are given attention, such as these examples.
Is a young Caucasian male. His identity remains as yet unknown. Police are doing that anyone who might recognize him come forward.
Okay, folks, if you don't see me again, it's because I'm dead.
Never noticed that before. Baby is a great protagonist that you can cheer for from the very beginning. His childlike bliss when it comes to music is very endearing. Who hasn't done this in their car or in the privacy of their home? Baby doesn't like committing these heists and would rather live a quiet life where no one is after him than a life where he gets paid and he's associated with rough criminals all the time. Which is why he keeps his distance from each group up until he's ordered to join them. Just because he doesn't want to do these jobs doesn't mean he loses the sight of the subject at hand. There's a lot riding on each heist. He always tries to have fun and stay focused at the same time. One thing he never breaks is his moral code. Anytime he's a factor in saving someone's life, he'll always come through.
Got your ass now. Come on! Get in! Let's move!
It's okay.
Bring your sorry ass on!
God damn it!
What are you doing? Leave the baby in the car! Leave the baby in the car!
I'm sorry, ma'am. He's very much a character that you can cling on and relate to. After a couple scenes, I knew this movie would be something special, and that he'd be one of the great protagonists of this decade. His hobbies include being a DJ and listening to music.
No. Was he slow? No. Was he slow? No. Retarded means slow. Was he slow? No. Was he slow? No. No. Was he slow? Devil behind the wheel. Was he slow? No. No. Good kid. Devil behind the wheel. Was he slow?
Baby's music choices reflect what he's feeling, and certain songs and song artists foreshadow the end of his story, along with Buddy and Griff, who foreshadow his fate. Baby has tinnitus. He constantly hears ringing in his ears, so he uses music to drown it out, which is a unique symptom for his character. It plays a role throughout the movie as it can be heard in certain sections, since the movie centers around Baby. He may be so disconnected to social interaction that he repeats quotes he hears off of TV to new characters he meets later on in the movie.
You are so beautiful.
You are so beautiful.
Doc is commanding and charming at the same time. Whatever this kingpin says goes. He's by the book and precise. That doesn't mean he can't be a fun character. He holds the utmost respect and trust in Baby.
Doc, is he, retarded?
Retarded means slow. Was he slow?
No.
Then you don't sound retarded to me. He's a good kid and devil behind the wheel. What the hell else more do you need to know?
So you don't think that there's something wrong with him just not saying anything?
There's nothing wrong with a little quiet.
He and Baby have a unique father-son relationship. They found each other through a chance encounter, and after meeting, Doc knew he had to have him on these jobs. He sees Baby as a good luck charm. Though he may be strict with Baby, he does throw him a few bones, and he's done a favor or two for him.
I was gonna wait until we were square, but what the hell? These are for you.
You're all good. A gentleman picked this up already.
And gentlemen?
And you're all straight, baby.
That's it?
Sure is. You're all paid up. Cause for celebration.
Yeah, sure is.
You need to sunset that ride. Drive safe, baby.
He cares for Baby. To bring further evidence to my point, this scene says it all.
The good news is you're about to make a lot of money. And the good news is you're about to make a lot of money.
I got a job, Doc. I am?
No, don't answer my question with another question. You give me one or two replies, yes or no.
No, Doc.
You know I never do a job with the exact same crew twice, right?
Yes.
And you also know you've been my driver for every job since we met.
Yes.
He needs Baby. Baby doesn't like working with criminals and inadvertently killing people. He wants out.
So, am I gonna see you tonight?
Yes, you will.
You're not just saying what you think I want to hear, right? You consider me a friend, don't you?
You and I are a team. Nothing's more important than our friendship.
Good to know. You'll be out of this shithole soon. You're going up in the world.
When you enter the crime underworld, there's only one exit, and it's with a bullet to the head. There's no quitting this life. Who I thought was going to be the main antagonist throughout the whole movie is Bats, aka Leon. I knew that these two were going to butt heads after I saw a few scenes with Bats, mainly the second heist. Their ideologies are the opposite of each other. Bats resorts to violence to get what he wants. He's a chatterbox and a psychopath. Guy really wears his heart on his sleeve. With Baby, however, he had just psychoanalyzed him, and maybe, just maybe, he followed him home, as implied.
I live really far away. No, you don't.
He did this because he's trying to test Baby's loyalty, to see if Baby is all in it to get the job done, even if it means he has to get his hands dirty. Bats does this with everyone, except Doc. He doesn't trust anyone until he knows what they're about. Bat's threatening and unpredictability make him out to be a fun character to watch. He's a character I have a love-hate connection with. His tactics either end with him trusting his accomplices, or he kills them due to liability.
And we ain't die either. Now, he bought it a little later, but it had nothing to do with the heist.
Do all your stories end up with somebody dying?
Guess you just gotta find out, huh?
Buddy is someone Baby could have been if he enjoyed doing bad things. They bond in a couple scenes, and just like Doc and Darling, they hold respect and confidence in Baby. He even defends Baby in a scene. Just like anyone when provoked, Buddy will say something, or like Darling says, he gets ruthless. Still, he's fair, and him and Darling are a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde. Darling is a beautiful vixen that will have Buddy kill anyone that looks at her funny. Her relationship with Buddy is sex-fueled. These two lovebirds enjoy robbing and role-playing. She's a flirty one. She's all look and no touch. With Darling, that's not even plausible. Joseph is Baby's foster father. His character could have easily been an abusive asshole. This is Edgar Wright we're talking about. So there's no lazy route. Instead, Joseph is a deaf foster father that Baby cares for. Their relationship is an endearing one. Joseph suspects/knows that Baby is committing these heists and wants something better for him. He encourages him halfway through to put his talents towards good, which is delivering pizzas. He also encourages Baby to go for Deborah. Okay, I put this off long enough. It's time to talk about Deborah. Deborah is Baby's love interest and a waitress at Bo's. She's a girl with ambitions, but she doesn't have money or a plan. She wants to go places.
I'm just going to go ahead and flat out say it. I hate romances. I detest romances. But Edgar Wright actually made me care about this romance. Half the movie is banking on this romance.
I actually care about a romance. I actually care about a romance. This is a new feeling within inside me. Even though it's love at first sight, Ansel Elgort and Lily James have a lot of chemistry. There's not a second that I don't believe these two are in love. It's genuine. Bravo to these two for selling about half this movie. If it's not convincing, then half the movie falls flat. The dialogue in this movie is quotable and memorable. It's got badass one-liners.
Yeah, I used to say hate, but to increase my chances of employment, I got the year removed.
How's that working out for you?
Who doesn't like hats?
Funny one-liners.
Well, ain't y'all cute?
That's my baby.
Fuck your baby.
Funny badass one-liners.
We met before, right?
Oh, you still alive, right?
Uh-huh.
Then I guess we ain't never met.
Shut the fuck up!
The dialogue is top-notch and original. The script is action-packed and dark. When it needs to make a joke, Edgar Wright delivers. Overall, props to him on the script. It's unique and very much in his style. One thing I'll note is there isn't a lot of cursing from what I've noticed. Not a lot of F-bombs in a R-rated film, so I'll give him extra credit for not relying on excessive language to carry your R-rated movie. Kudos!
You hear that, Steve? That's some Oscar shit right there. That was nice. You rehearsed that?
Ansel Elgort doesn't say too much. His performance is more so physical. He's the man for this performance and driving skill. Ansel delivers in not just body movement, posture, facial expressions, gestures, and when he talks, line delivery. Kevin Spacey as Doc is incredible. As said before, he brings charm to the character. One line in particular that is taken both serious and comical have me impressed. Lily James really plays the part as the waitress you have eyes for up really well. Who wouldn't want to get with her after this movie? Jamie Foxx does well as Bats. His line delivery and calm look-in-your-eyes psychopathic performance is a joy to watch. John Hamm had an extensive role. He brings his A-game along with Eiza Gonzalez, who is a newcomer to Hollywood. I must say, for her first venture, she played it like a natural. C.J. Jones' scenes were minimal with his hand gestures and facial expressions. He brought a lot of physical body language to Joseph. John Barenthal had a short but memorable role as Griff, and stole the camera for the 10 minutes he was there. All in all, a great diverse cast, with most of it only having been in a few main roles.
Nah, I think he's a star.
Would I vouch for him if he wasn't?
Gotta hand it to you, totem pole. You're either hard as nails or scared as shit. Which one is it?
Not one role is miscasted, and John Spencer and Big Boy make a cameo.
The soundtrack is a big part of the movie. Everything in this film is synced with the music choices. Dramatic scenes, action scenes, counting money, putting coffee cups down, everything. The editors really deserve a raise after this. I'm sure editing everything in sync was a real task. The soundtrack is an extension of Baby's character. It varies on his mood and what situation he's in. The soundtrack is so prominent that I'm not sure if the movie is the same without it. It's so prominent you could say it's its own character. The soundtrack is a masterwork of music choices. Genres ranging from hip-hop, funk, soul being the most featured, along with punk, rock and roll, and R&B. My personal favorites from the soundtrack are Bell Bottoms, Harlem Shuffle, B.A.B.Y., Neat Neat Neat, Baby Let Me Take You, The Edge, Nowhere to Run, Tequila, Every Little Bit Hurts, Hocus Pocus, Radar Love, Never Never Gonna Give You Up, Know How, and Baby Driver. Go check it out. It adds to the already well-acted scenes.
Go do yourself a favor and listen to the soundtrack.
With all that I've discussed, the climax is the last thing that I will talk about before I give my verdict. Doc puts Baby in an uncompromising position where he's the wheelman, even after him and Doc are straight. Even worse, Bats suspects Baby and has him interrogated about his tape recorder and tape collection, which they mistaken his mixtapes as evidence against Doc. Bats wants to take Baby home. Baby, knowing what that means, does the heist, convincing everyone he'll comply. Then this happens.
I'm gonna blow your fucking head off. 3, 2, move now! 1, now!
Baby being seen as a criminal for the first time leaves guilt on his mind. That is, until Bats provokes him.
Up to this point, Baby's been a slave and has followed orders. When he intentionally kills Bats, it says a lot about him. He no longer sees himself as a good person, but a criminal, something he never wanted to be. So when he kills Bats, there's no coming back. 2, he makes a decision for himself for the first time on these heists, which is botching it on purpose and killing Bats.
Much like most young adults, making critical changes, critical decisions in their lives can have their lives spiral out of control.
In Baby's case, the moment he kills Bats is the moment where nothing is routine anymore and he tries to get back in sync.
I moved. You moved.
Jason!
Drop your weapon!
I really do think there's a coming-of-age subtext here. After a tension-filled, frantic chase scene resulting in Darling's death and Buddy becoming an enemy, Baby heads off to see if Joseph is alright. Seeing Baby blaming himself is just really sad to see, because he didn't even want to do this heist.
You alright? I'm so sorry, this is all my fault. We gotta get out of here, alright? Take your bag. I know, but I can't leave you here.
He says his final goodbyes to Joseph, who wishes him the best.
As this scene played in the theater, everything was just utterly quiet. And suddenly, I started feeling sweaty. There was a lot of tension in the air during this scene.
Your buddy's here.
Do you feel the sweat? Because I do just watching this scene.
Hey, lovebirds. I was hoping I would catch you too. And here you are. What about Deborah, baby? Is she a good girl? You love her? Yes, I do.
Cut to Doc where he has his final dialogue scene.
I can't help you, baby.
I shot Buddy.
Congratulations. Then you only have every clean and dirty cop after you. You gonna shoot me too?
Never. You and I are a team.
Don't feed me any more lines from Monsters, Inc. It pisses me off.
Some people ask why Doc all of a sudden decided to help Baby and Deborah. Well, guys, if you paid attention to their relationship in prior scenes, you'd know that he's talking to Baby not as an angry kingpin. He's talking to him as a disappointed father. Throughout, I never saw a threatening kingpin. I saw a firm but fair father figure for the most part. Baby botching that heist and trying to run off with Deborah is the equivalent to sneaking out of the house. Doc thought there was a mutual respect, but he sees it's one-sided. The reason Baby's alias is Baby is because he's Doc's baby.
Across the border. From there, it's on you. Don't trust anyone but each other. And don't ever look back. I was in love once.
Even though he's disappointed, he will still go out of his way for his surrogate son.
Which makes this death and this deleted scene even sadder.
You and I are a team.
Baby vs. Buddy is a stunt spectacle to behold, and even though Buddy almost got the last laugh, our protagonists make it through.
Until the roadblock scene.
Easy, I'm easy like Sunday morning again.
The reason he stops is because he realizes he can't run away from his problems anymore. They finally caught up with him. For him to restart, he has to face the music, so to speak. As much as I wanted to see these two get away with it all, it would leave Baby's character arc incomplete.
It was the strangest thing. He finally drove off, and he threw my purse right at me. Then he actually said, "I'm sorry."
He looked at me and he shook his head, like he was warning me, somehow telling me not to go inside. He looked concerned, like he was trying to save me.
I hereby sentence the defendant to 25 years in the federal penitentiary, subject to a parole hearing after 5 years served.
This feels like a 90s film made with modern day techniques. This movie just has a very old school vibe to it. A high budget indie. I enjoyed this film immensely. This crime romance dramedy is what writers and directors should strive for. It's my favorite movie of 2017, and it is a masterpiece.
I can't breathe. Alright, come on, big officer.
From what I can tell, everybody enjoyed themselves making this movie. Bonds were formed, friendships were made, and Ansel Elgort and John Hamm became expert drivers. Not to mention that the whole cast also became very close with each other, and that they just looked like they kicked it off really well during the entire movie's filming process.
Everyone involved should be proud of the end result. To give my final thoughts on the ending, through all the darkness and grit, there is one shred of hope left for Miles. Him dreaming about the day he gets out and gets to be with Deborah puts a smile on my face. And it is the rainbow at the end of the thunderstorm.
I can't wait until the day when it's just us, music, and the road. See you later, baby. All my love. Deborah.
And we all know Miles deserves a happy conclusion. I'm Lino Mares of the MMCA Productions crew, and please, no sequels. Let this one stand alone. I'll see you guys next time.
on the higher engines, feel of above.